Hey, everything's working. Apparently, audio levels are better now. Hello, noises. What was that? I don't know. Don't care. How we doing? Hello. I'm just looking at the mirror side. I've been working on that since last time. It's going to be a work in progress for now. It's going to be a work in progress that will happen in the background. I'm just going to move over here and just ignore that problem. So where we left it last time, I actually found a slightly better combination for this thing. Be back home in 30-40 minutes. So you got 30 to 40 minutes until beer o'clock, is what you're saying. Yeah, I got this crap going here now. This lubricant build, I don't think I'd quite finished it. But yeah, that's happening. So the heavy oil comes up, turns into lubricant. The heavy and light continue. The rest of the heavy and light continues up for heavy to light conversion. The track here is for lubricant. I said lubricant. And this track here is for water, as my voice breaks up apparently. There and there. Right there. Okay. Beer time 60 minutes from now. Oh, you're giving yourself a 20-minute buffer. You're giving yourself a 20-minute buffer. Okay, they go direct, and then I need a combinator data to go there. Probably there. And what that combinator is going to do is go bloomp, 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 kajump. And now you have the ability, should you be so inclined, that one. That one. Not the landfill, we want the combinator. Not the dirt underneath it there. Right there. I'm not going to plug it in just yet because I don't want water appearing here right this instance. But yeah, this is going to be water for the heavy to light conversion. I've actually been wondering as well of getting rid of the gas that's here and just extending it up. That would be nice. And so, yeah, now where we left it off from last time, working on this oil build, is doing all of our conversions. Now, while I'm describing that, I need to open my reference notes. I believe I was doing rocket fuel with light oil, which is a bit uninspired, but it does significantly save on machines. Yeah, light oil. So this thing needs oxygen, light, heavy to light, light oil. I think 100% of light oil goes into rocket fuel as well. If I can find it on my list. This list being Factorio Lab. Did I actually make a link for this thing? I don't think so. There it is. Light oil. So destinations, 87% goes to petroleum gas, 13% goes into rocket fuel. There you go. So I could probably do rocket fuel in this build, and then we'll do everything that needs gas somewhere else. I mean, we'll see how we do, though. I kind of like the idea of it being monolithic. I do like... I've always been partial to having... Even though I did try and push myself in the direction, I always end up falling back into a singular oil base, which does everything all in one. Like, I know you can do a lot more interesting things, breaking up the trains and all that, but I always fall back into the other option. It's light oil. Why? Oh, because gas is backed up. Okay. Now. That's heavy. And then the other heavy. Gotta go there. But at the same time, I'm going to try and get water in here, which is all kinds of tricky. Unless... About... Pick that up just for a tinkle. And then plop it down again. What? Your light oil. Okay, so we move that to there, and you move that to there. That should now be heavy oil and heavy oil. Now I need to move light oil out the way somehow. Fortunately, there's a substation in the way. Mildly inconvenient. Get rid of those. Oh. Okay. Thinking for a moment, so 1, 4. So 1, 2... Potentially I could offset that. What I need to do is to slap that down. And then do something like that. Something like that. Boopity boopity. Boppity bop. And in no time flat, have extra thingies. Okay, you're called for a train. Am I not seeing a train? Okay. I'm just looking at the train and I was like trying to understand why there was a lubricant train there. It just seemed a little odd, considering it's a petroleum gas train. And why this isn't deleting things. 2 guys walk into a bar. 3rd guy ducked. Apparently, that was a joke. Apparently. An alleged joke. Be a criminal offence, some of these puns. Alright. Let's add some pumps to these to make sure it deletes everything. I could actually make this unload just a generic delete all. And then send all of the trains that need to unload things here. Okay. It would actually explain a lot. This was set for, yeah, it's set for petroleum gas, that's why. It's not, hopefully I can get this train, appears. That's not going to be the case. Sure. Keen. Interestingly, if I do the symmetric opposite over there, I'm going to end up with 2 lubricant loads, which is kind of unnecessary. But at the same time, it means whatever, it can just grab more if it needs to. Right, that's going to drain that in no time. Now I'm going to need some water in here. Somehow. Right, where things get a me bit complicated. I have a feeling the spready outy thing needs to happen sooner. Like here. There. Let's go do that. Let's delete those. Drop them in here. Drop them in here. Drop them in here. Then pipe reach is going to be a bit of an issue. Slap something there. Now it should be all fine. Alright, so let's get rid of everything that's not related to what I want. keep the track thing. Yep, cool. Seems to be fitting at least. Oh, that's heavy oil. More heavy oil. You don't go anywhere. You don't go anywhere. That's right. These are the old... I was confused there for a moment. Yeah, it's because I didn't delete those. So those are the old pipes. Oh. Okay. Oh, because they haven't been moved yet. I was like, why are they fitting? Yeah, it's because this is on a different alignment now. Share. They don't do anything. They don't do anything. Those reach all the way to the end. Water, don't care. You don't care. I'm going to realign these now. Certificate those. Now we can just copy the whole thing across, and it should just pop into place. Should. Oh yeah, there it is. Good. Blammo. Cool. It even covers all that crap too. I might try and squeeze some more beacons in there just to speed it up even further. Not that it isn't fast enough already. Let's go for the top. Say just there. What is that? 3 in. I'd like it to be there, but I don't think it's going to happen. Yes, it doesn't quite reach, unfortunately. So let's flop stations right about there. Boop. And... Flop. Jalop and flop. Alright, so... we are now making more... well, not yet. We will soon be making more... Right, now I can plug this in, because I've stopped faffing with the wires. You can call for a train now. Probably gonna need to throw more... I was wondering what was going on with the wagons there. Yeah, that's the super duper wagon. The big 75k wagons. Alright, so you've been allocated a train. Alright, let's see what this does. And we can start plugging it in. Ah, that's not good. Yeah, come around this. Ah, balls. Damn it. Oh no, it's not that bad. Just go around the side like that. Okay, the thing's already crammed to the gills. Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised it's struggling, because I am effectively deleting the excess. I don't actually need that anymore. Realistically, I'm going to need to this build is completely imbalanced now. And to really benchmark it, I'm going to need to redo the whole thing from the start. Just delete the whole thing and reset it. Start it up all over again. Okay, so 2... Boop. So far, it's kind of expected. It's not the end of the world. The water consumption is less. On ad break. Yeah, it's 30 versus 40. Alright, so while the ad's going... Hello, water train. How you doing today? Should pretty well fill it up now. Done. When I do try and pause what I'm doing when the auto ad break kicks on. But I have a tendency to not notice, even though it shows up in like bright yellow and everything. I still don't notice. I'm just super blind when it comes to that sort of thing. Tapping off there means an extra pipe tile, and I want to try and minimize pipe tiles if I can at all help it. I should also note that the ad frequency is set to is pretty frequent. It's I think 32 minutes, which is really low. But at the same time, I do it that way so that you only get 30 seconds. You don't get like 9 minutes worth of just ad. Like you know how you get with most streams, you get like whatever out of 8 ads, and you just got to sit there enduring it. So try and keep it more concise. That way it's a little bit less enduring. Hopefully it's tolerable. It also occurs to me I could have actually shuffled it over to align with the output, but that would have been smart. You know, and it would have been smart and sensible, but it's something. Hello, autosave. Smart and sensible is not something you're necessarily going to see here. Okay, so now that's draining all the heavy oil, which is exactly what we want. So, if I were to delete all the lubricant storage, like that. Fluids, we are producing 94,000 lubricants a minute. Doesn't seem like an absurd number at all. I think that's double what's actually needed. If I can find the bloody... How is it? It's under electric engines, which is one of the... Yeah, there it is. 41,000. So yeah, more than double is being produced right now. I think I might use... I might not build the other mirror image of this thing. Kinda ridiculous. I was also sort of hoping that this thing would suck the pipe dry. Actually, what I might do, if I can do, slap down one of these tanks. There's not enough room, unfortunately. Is there any room further up? Not really. I mean, it could make more room. What about to one side? Oh, it plugs into... kisses the lubricant... this storage tank. Maybe something like that, and then I could do the same... staggering, of course. Otherwise, the two would connect together. Something like that. There. Oh, it's just going to fill the tank, though. Is it worth pumping? Or... Ooh, I see another option. Do that there. For the pumps. Pull them down here. And then... I can throw down... one there. One there. Actually move them down even further. Still not quite enough room there, though. So what I was hoping for was to have It's also meant to be there too. Definitely no room for a pump now. Or a pony. It's pulling that down. I guess the pumps are doing the work. So what I was thinking, grab the green wire and a red wire. Start with a green wire. You know what? I'm just gonna... I'm just looking at this path that it's gonna be taking. It's gonna be absurd. If I take a more direct route, say like that, and actually build the stupid thing, yeah, don't connect it. So green, red, red, red. Of course, they're crossed over because why would I have these make sense? It's also off by one. Can't have that now, can we? There. Bam. Bam. Alright, so when heavy oil is greater than, we'll say 12,000. Leisha, how you doing? So when both of those are, when these are greater than 12,000, then it will allow oil to go through here. Otherwise, these are allowed to just run at full pelt. The effective result of this is now making 157,000. Hey, no pleasure. I'm not entirely convinced it's necessary. Concentrate so much production power on just lubricant. I mean, we're already making way more than what's required. It seems futile. Might as well just do that. About ready to pass out for the night? Ah, it's that time of the evening. Otherwise good. It's good to hear. Why are you here still? Oh, I was looking at the wrong tank, that's why. That's why. That explains a lot. Alright, so I'm just going to leave that do its thing. Cool. And now we move on up. Start by grabbing this. Popping it there. Clear that out of the way. So... we need to do two things with the light oil. We need to turn it into rocket fuel and petroleum gas. So I'm just pondering how to do that. I can either do the monolithic build or I can load up on what's needed, like load up on light oil and take it elsewhere. I think not overbuilding this thing's probably a good idea. I still like the idea of having everything else in here. I mean, I'm expecting, like, this smelting thing is going to be ridiculous. I have a feeling it's going to go badly. I have a feeling this entire base is going to go badly. It's going to run very poorly. I'm going to spend a lot of time fixing things. Oh, I never flipped those. Oh, these are the... okay. Okay. I think... maybe I will combine them. Just given what I'm seeing there. To help me? The problem is... oh, we'll need minions for construction. Definitely. That's definitely something that can happen. But doing this headaching with pictures is a bit more involved. In fact, where is the oil ability even going to be there? Technically, you shouldn't be there, but I'm going to allow it. Once the base is... Oh, yeah. Like, the current problem is... Oh, yeah, I was also expanding this. Are you young? Huh. I mean, we've had 2 build themselves so far. I think... No, they nearly built. The problem with this is just been loaders. Oh, that reminds me while I'm here. I finally fixed this thing. It doesn't get stuck constantly requesting. Have the updated blueprint here? Probably don't. No, that's the ancient one. I might actually... Yeah, it was basically 2... I think... Yeah, there's the faulty one. Don't have fixed one. Unless it's... Oh, I also completely blanked out. That actually reminds me. I had this, but I never actually placed it. I mean, I was waiting to come back into this game before really doing it, but at the same time, I grabbed this thing and I never actually placed it. It's even on the thumbnail of the VOD, and just nothing happened with it. There. Where would I put this thing? About there. Hey. Perfectly reasonable. Is it under... Yes. Yes, it is. Now, because there's so many requests for construction, it's probably not going to get built in a particularly big hurry. It should also be noted that this thing has 27,000 rail track in it. Every single tile is completely filled with every possible combination of rail track. It is a complete bird's nest of rail track. It's kind of spectacular in many ways. Kind of impressive. I'm also very keen to rebuild this thing, but it's sort of waiting on rebuilding the Megabase stuff and supplying stuff from up here. But yeah, got what I wanted to know. That is the positioning. I think it still works out to be like 10 builds total. What do we got? 6, 7, yeah, 10. It's effectively 10. Because I might end up breaking this one down again. I might take away the circuits there and put them somewhere else. Science seems okay, however. The science production. I could put it on the other side of the track too, but I'm holding off on that. I have a few ideas. I'm still ping-ponging the idea of having it be a clockwise running rail bus. So come in from the bottom, out the top, and around. And that way the traffic stays constant. And then if I want to double it, and I can then paste down a whole second base or something. Or maybe hang it off the bottom of that? No. Doesn't really make sense with a rail bus. Think of it. Unless I rotate at 180 and then make like the center right to left, and then this one goes down and then runs anti-clockwise back to the middle. For bots crash and fatigue. The bots will do it, they just take an eternity. Bots never give up. That's actually interesting. In the game, it's not the bots that give up, it's the traditionally it was the placing request that would give up. Alright, so we need some loaders for the light oil. Yes. Grab these. It's a Spielmaster. Hey, you is. Skull been drummed lately? Ready to get the skull drummed. It's like a tradition, isn't it? Oh yeah, there was something wrong with... Yeah. That's what was wrong with this thing. Just a random assortment of signals on the wrong side. Is the thing still counting up? I just want to check. To make sure the bot is still actually functioning, or if it's regressed back to... Yeah, see, it's missing a signal. Yeah. Want to make sure the bot hasn't regressed back to its old ways. Okie day. That... That's annoying. Yeah, I'm kind of warming up to the idea of making it a super duper wide boy. It picks up here. It's like that. It's up there. Let's do that. It's amazing what happens when you think things through, isn't it? You know, instead of just sort of throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks, you just actually think things through. Say, gee, does this thing actually work? Does A connect to B, connect to C correctly? It's amazing what happens. Tent-tied by the command. Thinking caps on. Oh, there's this. That'll wake you up. A little jackhammering. A Lucifer appears. How you doing? Hello. Okay. Where my... Oh, that's why. Those are the ones to go. Yeah, because it's connected to those sneaky pipes in here. Just carefully delete these. Okay, it's adjusting to work, getting documents together. Ooh. The wonderful world of paperwork. Something that never ends. As fast as you make paperwork go away, it just reappears with astonishing speed. Come down there. Can. If I can save... Yeah, there we go. See, if I can save having... damn it. Why are you there? That's just a complication, that is. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, that's right. You were going to move, weren't you? That consistently lands in the way too, doesn't it? Yeah. How did I manage that? Seriously. I managed to line those up basically perfectly. I suppose it's centered around that, which kind of makes sense, because it means that this is in this effectively in plane with, or nearly in plane that. Yeah, they're off by one. I could space it out by one. Like, spacing it out by one is an option. Not necessarily the dream, but it is so dumb. I kind of love it. Dear. Yeah. This is probably going to need some serious boosting to get it through. At least it's consistent. I'm about that. Three and 4. And now it's in the middle of that one. I mean, it works out consistently. Oh, did I? Well, I need to be consistent anyway. Can't not do it that way. It's not the end of the world. I mean, it's pretty close too, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah, to make up for it, I'll put some beacons in. As if this thing needed to be faster. I mean, would it be one of my patented builds if it didn't have that kind of stupidity in it? I think, just looking at that and having a moment, these need to get out of the way. And just purge all this. Kinda pointless. But, well, sort of. Want to cut that out. Then just bring it back in, but give it a little bit more room for activities and things like that. There. Alright, share. What do we need? Need a pump. Fills that up. Pushing that one out by one isn't entirely terrible either. I think it is actually, because one of these... hang on. Can't do anything. Now you do. Yeah, this one on the end actually collides with that pump there. I mean, it can just lift this up by... No, it can't. It actually does need to be there. It's all just inconveniences, isn't it? Everything's an inconvenience. Hey, Unzakaska. Do you use Blueprint to help create your base? I'm in the process of making blueprints right now for all of this chaotic nightmare monstrosity. So yeah, it's actually taken months to build all this crap. But yeah, so we've been building. So right now, I'm in the map editor version of the save, and we're just building up blueprints to build the eventual base. But yeah, so effectively, yeah, this is blueprinted. And then what we'll do is we'll take the eventual blueprints and drop them into the main save. Yeah. It's not ideal having a single pipe there. It sort of slows things down considerably. How's nuclear power work? Because this is Factorio 2, it works a little bit different. The nuclear ratios are slightly different, and I've also opted for a slightly convoluted uh, setup. Also, while we're talking about the dad joke mod has kicked in again. I tripped over in France. I fell over. Also, welcome back, Vildak. So yeah, this is nuclear power in for this save. The way I've done it is this is actually backup power. You can't actually see it in this version of the save, but I'm actually using antimatter in this. But yeah, this has a slightly different ratio. So the reactors themselves produce more power per reactor, but the neighborhood bonus isn't as strong. I think the effect is it's still the same. It's just a little bit nicer. The numbers are a little bit more round. So yeah, what I've done is I've done these in a cluster of 4, which is 1 gigawatt. And then these are then subdivided, I think it was 5, yeah, 5, into a total of 30. Which is, what is it, 4 reactors, 30 thingamabobs, and 150 what's-a-majigs. Thingamabobs being heat exchangers, 150 turbines. This wouldn't work in vanilla. This is only Factorio 2 numbers yet. In this, it's exactly 1 to 5. They rounded off the numbers. In vanilla, it's an annoying ratio. So yeah, hopefully this makes sense. Discard from uranium drills to final product. Oh, okay, sorry, I didn't see that. From the uranium drills. Oh, you're playing vanilla. In that case, I might just save that there, and we'll switch to what has a decent. It's actually digestible, which is quite important because I definitely have nuclear. It's just whether or not it's actually understandable is a different matter. I'll go for this one. Just ignore the mods. Hopefully it loads. It should eventually load. There it is. Spidertron's going to have no fuel. Now, this one. So, mining uranium at a little patch of. Oops, depress map then. A little patch of uranium here. This is quite an old save, so it has very small patches of uranium. Yeah. So every time you mine, it consumes a little bit of sulfuric acid. And so, if you're not familiar with this, you need to deliver a little bit of sulfuric acid periodically to help them to power the miners. The miners share the fluid between themselves, so you only need to. It's like these 6 miners, you only need 1 pipe to connect them all together, and they'll all share between themselves the acid. So there's a little train. It was a little train. Oh, that's right. I was playing with it. So at one point, I had a little train, which was just a loco, a tank wagon, and another loco, which came in and unloaded sulfuric acid. Apparently, I've been experimenting with having it in the center of a train, like so. I don't recommend doing this. Every time I've done this, it's never really worked out nicely. There's always something always goes wrong with the logic somewhere. I think this one. Nope. Yeah, apparently I've been fiddling around with this one. So yeah, this thing's mining, and then it'll deliver the uranium to the nuclear facility here. Yeah, there's the pretty one. Doing the train to deliver power can't work like steam power gens. You don't need to do a train. This just happens to be done this way on this map. Particularly very early on, actually. I have an early example. I tend to take periodic saves on my games. This kind of reason. That is 65. This one I think has some nuclear local. The first power plant I usually build is, I'll just run a pipe from the base. I think this one should still have it. Good. Nope. Apparently I'd already gone to the trouble of building it. I tend to build these on water. Because you can have the offshore pumps tap directly in. You don't have to do it that way though. Apparently this one's the same. This principle's the same. There's a little train that delivers sulfuric acid. And then just pulls from whatever your starter oil is. Yeah, apparently I don't have a base that's early enough, but yeah, if when you're first starting out, you could easily drop this next to their starting nuclear, the starter base, the starting nuclear. It's just that this save is too far advanced for that. Now, after that, however you mine it, you're going to end up with uranium on a belt. That uranium needs to be turned into, needs to be processed into what we call shiny rocks and dull rocks. New start blueprints. I have this blueprint, which is it's probably not a new start, but there is a version that I do. I was actually hoping to find it. It's a nice one to do. The trouble is it's fairly straightforward, so I always just end up building it. I imagine if I amble across enough saves, I'll eventually find it. I didn't actually mean to load that. Actually, come to think of it, I think the Factorio 2 one actually does what I'm describing. Come to think of it. Keep hopping between saves. Yeah, this is just a later version of the same map. K2. No, that's an hour 57 in. 53 hours. Plan to base blueprint the start of the game. Yeah, that's why blueprints tend to be a bit annoying. Oh wait, that's this save. Damn it! What was I looking at? I remember seeing it recent. I think I know what it is. Why not load though? It's this one. But it's a different map. What did I do for this? Yeah, this is what the save is based off of. What's a nice one? And Ploppy Yellow all the way to the first page. You got 14 hours in the game, so trying to make extra place in the third time round. Got overwhelmed the first two. Oh yeah, that happens every time. Yeah. It's just piece by piece. Not piece by piece. It's like you get a little bit better every time. So you don't like it took me quite a while to really get to this level. Let's try this one. This is going to require a full reload though. Never started. The starter base in the book is really old now. I haven't updated that since version 16. I sort of I was keen on the idea, and then I moved away from base in a book, mainly because it does trivialize. Like it was part of what put me off the game for a while was I was just putting down a base in a book, and then that was it. So to keep the game interesting, for me personally, I try and avoid just having a base in a book, the entire base in a book. Those are steam engines. Ah, here we are. Yeah, so this one is entirely relying on the base. And this is the starter nuclear that I was thinking of. This one I tend to plop down entirely from memory. So it's 4 reactors again. But because this is vanilla, it will generate 480. This is a good starting point. This one's really understandable. And then it's 2 rows. It might be worth screenshotting this one too. Like that. I press shift. If you hold down shift, it brings up this window. Yeah, super simple, super compact. Just to chuck a couple of substations around. Is now so far so good. I think they're called biters. They take a lot. Ah, the biters. Yeah, increasing the starting area size helps with the biters. Yeah, this thing needs 2 pumps per pipe inlet. So if I zoom in here, you'll see there's 2 pipes coming out of here, and then up here. Nuclear needs a significant amount of water. It's like this is all this water here. Oh, except for those. These 8 pipes here just go into nuclear. It's a lot of water. And yeah, and then it finds water way up there. Fumble through. This map is running Factorio Extended, which again extends base game, but for the purpose of what I'm showing, it doesn't actually change much. The green pipes are a tier 2 from Factorio Extended, but it's the same with vanilla. Like they're exactly the same as the offshore pumps and the pipes. Yeah. This is the one. Oh, I was running on solar. What is it? It was 12. That's right. So 48 total. So the thing with ratios is this thing technically isn't in a perfect ratio, but I don't care. You can go down the rabbit hole. I certainly do at times. It just works out like it's easier to say 1 heat exchanger to 2 steam turbines and just eat the loss, whatever it was. I forget what it is. That's right. So this thing outputs 100 and this thing consumes 120. Like, it's a difference of 20, who cares? It just means you're going to have a few more steam turbines than you need. I think this one works out, it has like 4 more turbines than it needs. So yeah, 1 to 2, just like the steam engines, it's good enough. Because you'll see you have the 1 boiler, 2 steam engines for early game like coal power, which is another thing too. For I know this is just going on a complete random tangent. With the burner coal power, you can use solid fuel as well, and it does actually work out a bit more efficient on resources because this thing has more energy. So that fuel value is higher for solid fuel than it is coal. Just got to have a reasonably good oil supply to maintain it. But yeah, I'd suggest screenshotting that, and then you can maybe paste that down, and then that's the starting point. One of these is good for early nuclear. As I say, like main thing is each thing here needs 2 pumps connected to it. You know, see, I've got an input belt for the nuclear fuel coming in, output for the spent fuel cells. Fossil fuel made with oil. Yeah, so oh yes, same thing down here too. I'll come to got the screenshot. Cool. Yeah, so down here is the uranium mine, and you can see that I've actually run the belt all the way back to the to the starting area. Same with the sulfuric acid. So I ran the sulfuric acid pipe all the way along, all the way along, all the way up, all the way up, all the way up, and still going. So yeah, you don't need drains. You can just have a transcontinental belt and pipe network that gets you there. I think it's currently cut off. I think when I was at this point in the save, I was phasing out the local stuff and replacing it with trains. Yeah, that would then come back to oil, which is over here. Now, what to look at. So I'm trying not to show things that are too modded. Once again, I don't know how familiar you are with the processing. Yeah, so the centrifuge turns the uranium ore into shiny rocks and dull rocks. 0.7% of the time it makes a shiny rock. Most of the time it makes a dull rock. And so you end up needing to stockpile. You don't actually need to stockpile. But early on you sort of do need to. You sort of got to have this running for a while before it eventually builds up enough shiny rocks that you can run another centrifuge running the enrichment. This one looks complicated, but it's kind of like it's easier to think of it as a kind of like a term deposit at a bank. So this centrifuge with the enrichment is a bank, and what you do is you give it 40 shinies and 5 dulls, and then the bank then returns your return on investment. It's actually a really poor interest rate, of course, because you only get from your 40 initial investment, you get 41 back at the expense of consuming some dull rock in the process. So what this effectively does is it gives you one shiny rock with once you have that initial 40, that is, gives you one shiny rock for 3 dull rocks. So over time, this thing, like all these numbers, things need for nuclear in the blue category. Mostly, yeah. I think the enrichment is a purple. Yeah, it's a purple tier. Because this research is what really sort of opens up nuclear. Without it, it's still possible without nuclear. You can actually brute force it. One centrifuge can power one reactor. There's really the numbers behind it is absurd, and you wouldn't think it would work. It's crazy, but it works. But yeah, you'll need the purples to really get the most out of nuclear. Yeah, it's satisfying to watch one of these spin up. This map doesn't have nukes. No, it doesn't, because it doesn't have bidas. This one. I don't think it has pollution either. No, it doesn't have pollution. Because this map was absurd. This map runs at a slowly, shall we say, the final base. So yeah, once this is, yeah, yeah, you need the purple, which is that, which they're not the end of the world. It's just electric furnaces and rail. Speaking of electric furnaces, I know I'm sort of flying off a different tangent again. Keep your steel smelters. Don't replace them with electric. The way the numbers work out is that a steel furnace is an electric furnace is kind of a side grade of a electric furnace, and because of the steel and the advanced circuits, you end up just throwing a lot of resources into this thing, which could be spent elsewhere. Like you could use your advanced circuits for making modules or something. Because you have a look below where it says crafting speed. It's a crafting speed of 2 and 90 kilowatts of something, a fuel. It's on the stone furnace, just as good. I think. Yeah, that's right. I was trying to remember what it was. So these are crafting speed of 1, so they're half the crafting speed of a steel furnace. So it's a really good idea to get some steel furnaces going as soon as you can. The other thing is you'll see it's max consumption 90 kilowatts, whereas this one is also 90 kilowatts. So even though the pollution is double, the amount of fuel you use is exactly the same. So you get 2 for the price, like twice as much for the same amount of fuel. Yeah, you get double the speed for the same fuel. Which is double the efficiency, which is really good. And then you go to the electric furnace. So this uses 186 kilowatts. but it's still only a crafting speed of 2. So you're considerably increasing your energy consumption for the same crafting speed. So until late game, electric furnace isn't that attractive. It's a trap that a lot of people tend to fall in. You'll see, it depends on who you ask though. You'll see a lot of people build early game smelters which allow for electric furnaces. I don't bother. Just keep the steel furnaces. It's not as bad now. If you actually go through the numbers, it was actually worse than this because there was a 50% loss for burning coal to make power. And yeah. So yeah, steel furnaces still use a burnable, but yeah, it's just more efficient, and you could also the other thing I'm talking leading into with the electric furnace is because you instead of burning directly in the furnace, you're burning it in either coal or going into nuclear or something. You're sort of building a lot of infrastructure to support this thing. Yeah. The main thing with electric furnaces, the thing for electric furnaces is late game where you can put, it has module slots in it, where you can put productivity modules, speed modules, or heaven forbid, efficiency modules into it. Typically, you would put productivity modules in anything that accepts it. Because what a productivity module effectively does, in the case of this one, it has 4 modules, so it's producing 40% more every time. You can't do that in... I shouldn't have actually shown that because you can't do that in vanilla. Vanilla's only two modules in a furnace. But you don't need... So the way it works out is that modules in a furnace isn't... like productivity modules in a furnace isn't a really good payoff. You actually get the most out of productivity modules in labs. But again, that's another tangent. Oh yeah, rocket silo is priority 1 for oh yeah. Yeah, priority 1 is modules in the rocket silo. Oh, that's right, it's not even built yet. Yeah, got to get those productivity in the rocket silo because what it means is you don't need to spend 40% of the resources. It's actually a rocket costs a lot. Like the silo alone is what is that? 200 blue circuits. That's a lot. Early game. And then to craft it, it needs 100 times. 100 times 10 low density control units, which is yeah a lot. The saving is immense. All right. So what were we up to? Because those are future problems. They're not now problems. So what have we talked about? We talked about the furnaces. We talked about the enrichment. This thing, even though you can't do the enrichment yet, it's a good idea just to start building up the shiny rocks because you need that initial 40. So what you would do is just as soon as you get the centrifuges going. Centrifuges are also quite expensive. Yeah, they are 100 red circuits. So you want to be getting a good plastic supply going. And don't be shy to build lots of red circuit production. I usually go nuts. But yeah, you get this thing going, producing the shiny rocks and the dull rocks, and you just store them up in chests. The output goes into, if you click on this, I don't know if you didn't know this, if anyone didn't know this, you can click on this and you can set filters and priorities and all kinds of fun things. And so I'm splitting the 2 rocks, shiny and dull rocks, out into halves. And yeah, then once you get the purple pack, you can start doing these, take your shiny rocks, put them in the first one, and then just have it slowly spin up. This isn't my design as well. This is one I saw on either the forum or Reddit, but it's really nice. It's nice and self-contained. So it relies on input and output priorities. So it prioritizes emptying this belt and then filling these 2 machines. And so once these two have completely filled up, then it moves on to the next one, and then the next one, and it keeps on going down the chain. It's I like this one because you don't. It's dead simple. You don't. There are a lot of these designs which need combinators and it has all kinds of weird inserter logic. This one, yeah, it feeds itself. This one, it's dead simple. It consumes everything that it outputs. It prioritizes itself before the next one. It it just works. Few players don't depend on Kovaric's play. Yeah, I was mentioning that before. It is possible to do it to run nuclear without it. Um, but it involves some maths that might make sense eventually. As I was saying before, it's something that it works. It's absurd, but it actually works. Oh, jeez. Oh, when you take a drink of water and it goes down the wrong hole. Oh boy. Hopefully that's better. Oh yeah, bot one. Yeah, the bot one has the same issue. Oh, now I've got a tickle on my throat. It won't go away. I think it's gone now. So yeah, that's the enrichment. So this thing, it feeds, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 of these things. And then the output goes into a buffer here and then gets turned into fuel cells. Ah, bedtime. Yeah. Kiwi land is 11 o'clock, I think, this time of year. Buffer chest the whole day. Oh, yeah. Yeah, 11 p.m. Ashes? Oh, what did I do? Oh, Heinrich. You're a little behind. Like, or, no, I'm a little slow, actually. Stabby, stabby. Look out, meat sack. Gotta practice my stabbing. Where were we at? Do I even have what an elegant combination of. Did that one? No, I don't think so. Yeah, or the thing I was looking for was that's making batteries. See, this is where I started converting it to. Oh, there it is. Again, this is using modded buildings, which can be kind of confusing. But so this chemical plant here is turning petroleum gas into solid fuel. It's not the only way to do it, and it's not the best way to do it, but it's a way to do it. If I go into the recipes, there's 3 recipes here. So you can turn 10 light oil into solid fuel, you can turn 20 petroleum gas into solid fuel, or you can turn 10 heavy oil into solid fuel. Generally, you want to use light oil, and if you have excess petroleum gas, you can use gas as well. For heavy oil is really precious for lubricant, so you want to avoid using heavy oil for anything other than lubricant. And then when you're good on lubricant, just have cracking that turns into light oil. Um, by doing it that way, you end up with a lot of light oil in the end. You actually don't. Heavy oil's weird, I find. It's effectively lubricant because lubricant is 10 for 10. 10 lubricant from 10 heavy oil. So without productivity, heavy oil is basically just lubricant. It's just transmuting one into another. With productivity, though, you do get a bit more You can extend it further. Alright, how is that? I think I've covered everything now. I think. Nuclear demo. That was 1.155. You can see I prepared that a long time ago. That was a video I was going to do and I never did. Hmm. Oh yeah, I cleared out all the old those. To that one. Now I'm just distracted. Oh dear. Do I even have the nuclear in this? Remember what this? Because I've loaded this and I've heard it was mentioned. Kind of curious at what state it's in. And oh, I did need to load this anyway. Yeah. Oh no, it's gone up to 60. Uh, oh, it stopped producing, stopped consuming science. Add 14K. There it is, 36K. It does actually run. Okay, you can see it has bursts. It's actually pretty good. More consistent there. It struggles. This is going to be maybe when the K2 base is done. We might revisit this one. Say might. I kind of do want to revisit it. What do I want? I say might revisit it because I'm kind of giving away. That's right. I was working on things. Want that. Gets that there. That's what we want. That's gonna be a button. Alright, is there an easy way to do this? I need to thingy this thingy. Planner. I think the mod is still. I don't want to say bugged, but it is effectively bugged. Oh no, there we go. Okay, so that's converted back to normality. Oh, those need to be fixed, but I'll do that on the other side. Pop that there for now. Let's give it a... Yeah, alright. Now we need to go back to... you. And get ourselves back on track. Yeah, I think that was everything that we were talking about. I think we covered everything. Actually, come to think of it, in this map, or this iteration of the map, there should be a belt. Yeah, there's a belt. I had solid fuel going that way, yeah. So I was turning the excess petroleum gas into solid fuel. You can actually see I had 2 productivity, 1 speed, just to change it up a little bit, just to get a little bit more out of it. This is more like what you would see in a normal playthrough. Yeah, that goes along, down, wraps around, and eventually comes into here. And then what you would do is you would have a splitter in... What I normally do, and I suggest doing, is you'd have a splitter with a priority input on the solid fuel, but you still supply coal on another belt. That way, if something happens to the solid fuel, you're still getting fuel. Yeah, this thing's pretty well done. Like, at the point of this save, this thing's pretty well done. The nuclear's taken over. Get a lot of IRL is busy setting up a furnace blueprint, and next thing you knew it was 3 hours had passed. It'll do that to you. The game will definitely do that to you. It is... The one thing about this game that sets it apart from others is that it kind of just lets you do that. Like, games like Satisfactory, I think that's where they fall short, is that it kind of forces you to jump through hoops. It doesn't let you just fumble around tinkering with stuff for literal hours. I think that's what sets this game apart. It's going somewhere. No. That's the other thing too. It's Satisfactory is it's not. It just becomes really annoying as soon as you try and do something big. I've been there and done that. I usually quit around oil because it's just so annoying. Going. Oh, light oil's full. Why is your light oil full? Because you don't have a pipe. A pipe? So started the land layout changes. Yeah. It's kind of weird, that one. Because a lot of people complained that the taskbar was flickering. You started base next minute at 5 AM the next day. Yep. That happened the first time I bought this game. And that was the first time I'd done that in a while too. Sat up all night playing a game. It's 3 AM. Thought I'd finally gotten free of that habit. Are you complaining there's no path? Oh. There quite literally is no path. Whoever would have guessed it. Oh, it's train still. When I started playing too, blueprinting was quite a lot different to what it is now. Well, it wasn't nearly as easy. You had to unlock, like you couldn't blueprint like you can now. You had to unlock robot technology. You had to unlock one of the robot technologies. I think it was robotics. Yeah, robotics. To unlock the blueprints, I think it was. It was either that or either construction robots or the logistics robots, the other ones. They just get the furnaces done, and then the coal line, and then you need more iron, and then you need more copper, and then you need more iron. I started the layout changes. Hey, Killbill, how you doing? Admittedly, the recipe changing was kind of annoying. Thankfully, that's settled down. There was some crazy science recipes for a while. Sort of a little... A mining drill in blue science was a little crazy. A little over the top. Looked off midway because you ended up completing it. Alright, so let me go back to the... What was the light oil put? Oh. Oh. That's a big number. I was like, I wonder if the trains can actually handle processing these per minute. Yeah, 1.2 million is a lot per minute. I mean, thankfully, this is actually only a half build, so it's only like 600, but that's still a lot. Actually, before I get too far down that rabbit hole, how much goes to the fuel? Oh, only 150,000. Yeah, I just took a moment to pause and say only 150,000. Like, that's still a lot. uh, these are the kind of numbers that I deal with doing all this stupid crap, building all these stupid mega bases. It's like they just say, "Oh yeah, I only need 1.3 million oil per minute." It's like, yeah, that's easy. That's nothing. Yeah, like 30 oil outposts. 2 hours now upgrading your whole plan and not even double the output. That's the other thing too, is like there's no real upgrading. You just do a lot of busy work and nothing really changes. You sort of have to have built one base and just be constantly moving on with the memes. You can't really start over. The short answer is yeah, one of these is fine. So the next step is light to gas. So slap that down. Why is Scheif weird? I should not do lunges to stay in shape. That would be a big step forward. Should do lunges to stay in shape. Would be a big step forward. She by adding shen to every word. Can't even do that. Should turns it into something that sounds kind of but not really fun. She can't even do that. Moving swiftly along. Try and expunge that from memory. Really gonna have to just terminate that mod with extreme prejudice. It's outstayed its welcome. Okay. So yeah, this thing's getting fed water from here. Hopefully that's okay. Hopefully. I'm having a moment. It's thinking. What if I measured the contents of this and when it gets above a certain amount, then it pushes in? I mean, it sounds like the makings of a terrible idea. So I probably shouldn't do it. Cold plant looks pretty amazing, but it's taken so long to get it up and working properly. It's satisfactory. You just spend days doing what is effectively nothing. Like, it is ridiculous. Just the amount of time. I think that's my problem with satisfactory. It doesn't respect your time. Just a time thing. It's like the stupid Minecraft mods that I always complain about. Because anyone who's here regularly knows that I like to complain about Greg Tech alikes. Even Vault Hunters. Vault Hunters is just for Minecraft streamers that play Minecraft like 19 hours a day. Yeah, I said it. That's what it's for. Just double up on pumps because why not? Brr, 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 brr. Sticky day. I don't think those need to be fed further up. I'm pretty sure one of these is like way beyond what's necessary. How does this look? Not great is the answer. I suppose I can bend that round the corner, like so. It's in the same plane. I don't want these two joining, that's why I'm avoiding having them connect together. Can't argue with the consistency. Can I... Oh no. I was like, can I pull this over to there? But no, it'll get in the way of that pipe. Hmm. Hmm. Don't like that weeble wobble. Has potential to slow down the whole build. Try and avoid it if possible. Sure, if I mash enough keys on the keyboard, I'll eventually press the right button. Got that. I have this tendency to just keep copy and pasting the same crap. Yeah, you fill that up first. The idea of having the pump here is we'll just throw everything into the tank. I won't let it through. Or at least that's the idea. I wonder... On tile. I'm having one of them dumb ideas. Lay this one horizontally. And then double pump that way. And then... How's that? Alright. I remember why. Steel furnaces need red belts. They don't have to. But to get the most out of them, it's useful. Realistically, the only difference between yellow belt and red belt with steel furnaces just means you can have more of them in a single line. So, because of the belt speed, it comes down to belt speed. So, because yellow belt is 15 items a second, it works out that you can have up to 12. I'm trying to remember this off the top of my head. I should know this, but I haven't done it in a while. You can have 12 furnaces per side, whereas with a red belt, you can have a single lane go twice as far because it's double as many items. And so you can have a belt with which is 24 items long, 24 furnaces long. Before for it to consume one entire belt of ore. If that makes sense. I think I kind of bumbled over that a little bit. Yeah. So with a steel furnace, and it'll work fine with yellow belt. It's just for one belt of iron ore, you can only have well, you can have more, but to get the most out of it, you can only have 12 furnaces. With the red belt, it's 24. And there's a tangent to that. Blue belt, it's 36. But you don't have to set your eyes on blue belt. You can actually get quite far with more red belt than blue belt. 2 red belts is more than 1 blue belt. So just adding more red belts works out considerably cheaper. Because a blue belt, I can't actually, or yes I can. The reasoning, so there's another streamer, Colonel Will, and myself, we figured this out a while ago, years ago even. So a red belt, see, it's just, 5 total raw iron plates, whereas a blue belt, it needs gear. Oh, ignore the steel gears. Steel gear wheels. It just takes iron gears in base game, and then lubricant, and that's lubricant cost for all of the blue components. Considerably adds to the cost of building blue belt, and so it's a lot easier to get stuff going with just lots of red belt. So yeah, there's another tip for you. Stick to red belt. Late game, once you have enough crafting, you gotta have, and you don't have to barrel straight to red belt as well, because once you start upgrading to red belt, the act of crafting red belt is a pretty significant iron drain. So you don't need to dive straight into it. It's actually a good idea to hold back, and then just, two yellow belt makes a red belt. So twice as many belts for the same effect. What was the cost actually? It wasn't like yellow belt's really cheap. Yeah, 2 iron. The Scarecrow got promoted because he was outstanding in his field. I think a half chuckle for that one. Points for trying. Yeah. And you also get 2 transport belt per craft. Per your iron plate and gear wheel. So you can actually just spamming. Don't be afraid to spam yellow belts. Yeah, that concludes my exceedingly long TED talk on the topic of belts. Alright, back to the issue at hand, which is this crap. See, that doesn't actually work for me. Unless be crafty. Yeah, I hope it is. I was hoping it is all useful. So like that. If I can manage to not roll the mouse wheel up and down a million times. And there. There. That'll work. It's not silly at all. Kind of annoying. So this is just creative problem solving right here. I don't even know if this works, but I'm kind of curious to find out if it does. Straight. Oh, you went straight up into the thingy. I need that. It actually worked out into my yeah, that spacing worked out to my advantage. Hey, it's a random gear. How you doing? What's up? I suppose technically the moon is, if I was to be somewhat sarcastic. Oh dear. Can't help myself sometimes. That one should actually be the low one anyway. Hope you're doing well. Slam the browser closed in disgust. If a cow fails to produce milk, Is it a milk dud or another failure? See, you should submit that to the dad joke mod, because that is actually good. It's in a league of its own. All right. Dear. I'm also going to grab that and bring it down slightly. Like so. Am I missing something? Light oil. Light oil. That doesn't seem right. I think I'm off by one. That one's got water. Yeah, this one's off by one. We did that a little while ago, apparently. That means this one's going to be off by one as well. One job, Darth. You didn't tell me I was off by one. Two peanuts walk into an alley and one was assaulted. See, again, that's actually pretty good. I mean, you compare that to what has four wheels and flies, a garbage truck. I mean, maybe. What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta. Two guys walk into a bar. Third guy ducked. See, that one makes no sense. What the hell even is that? Used to be able to play the piano by ear, but now you have to use your hands. What might have caused a PC to crash? Would it have anything to do about a joke on construction? I'm still working on it. Energizer Buzzy was arrested. He was charged with battery. That's an old one, that one. It's a good one, though. Is Buzzy now. I mean, when the Energizer Bunny is fully charged, is it not Buzzy? Snake walks into a bar. The bartender asks the snake how he did that. I'm pretty sure that is here somewhere. Air used to be free at the gas station. Now it's $1.50. You know why? Inflation. Had that one. Loudest pet you owned? Trumpet? Trumpet? I'm sure I've seen the snake one in there before. Fuzzy bunny. Anyway, moving swiftly along. Try and actually get something done around here. Lest Darthy start taking notes. Water ingredient shortage, yes. Very much a water shortage. I was actually wondering if I'd need another water unload. 365 day calendar of dad jokes. Just saying, you should visit Damsel sometime. I hear she likes dad jokes. Yes, that one. God damn, that's so funny. It's just a roller coaster of emotions. Right, what are we up to? What? 1.1 million. Probably don't even need to do all this crap to the, to this. Going with the work? Alrighty. Have a good look, have a good day. I up to nearly done actually. I hope the tangent was informative. Guess who spent the last 40 minutes trying to fall asleep? An insomniatic kiwi bird would be my guess. Hello, train. I don't have a physical body, so you can't hurt me. That's a secret exterminator should learn. How to dodge a train. Not have a physical body. It was a Roman emperor who never aged after he turned 19. His name was Constantine. What is this? Kiwis are nocturnal. That is true. What do we got here?
An owl.
I think I've got a Sifa sound now. Yeah, 1 million, 1 million petroleum gas. But I need 2 million. I may need to deal with that water issue though. Yeah, right. Let's reduce this down. Reduce it down, reduce it down. Pick you up. Pick this up. Great job replicating the accident. The great owl accident of 2022. I think it was 2022. I don't remember now. Shouldn't there be pipes connecting that? And things and junk and stuff? Probably fine. Yeah, like that. It's a solar wolf. How you doing? Oh yeah, that's right. You just don't reach or malfunction. I need to put pumps there. It exists, or at the very least, it just adds flow resistance. Day. Day. Oh, there's gonna be a mess of substations, isn't it? Alright, you go there. Blah, 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 blah. And we need an input. Like that. That is green. That is, however. Ooh, slightly off. Hold it there for a minute. Because I might need to shuffle this over. Or not. Or yes. Don't really know yet. Let's just clear the whole thing. Yeah, this works. Stop. Lap. That one's just a straight shot though. You're a straight shot. I'm not, however. So it connects perfectly. Yeah, it's good enough. Yeah. Alright. Reach there, you reach there. I don't think this will reach. No, it doesn't. To be right in the middle. No, I don't need to move because I don't have a physical presence. Don't have a physical body, so the train can't hurt me. It is a legitimate concern. Even when you're an ethereal player, Factorio engineer player thing, still have that hard ingrained fear of trains. Right, what is that doing? 900? 960? Oh, it's already going down again. Worst. Still struggling on water. That is demolishing the water. That could be a problem. ChatGPT did what you're too lazy to think about. It worked. You thanked it. Wished you happy coding. That's adorable. Right, you're not outputting at all. Not getting water at all. Apparently you're not connected. They're all going now. Well, it had a kick up and now it's coming back down. I wonder if it's worth not doing the fold around. Hmm. Okay, I feel like future be problems. I think the answer is more water unloads. There we go. I was just waiting for the ad to cycle. But yeah, I'm thinking more water unloads might be the way to go. Second one. Bumpity bumpity pump. It should have sprung up again. Yeah, look at that. 1.1 million. It was only doing it when it has the water supply to do it though. First by the road said, love you, chappy. Friend zoned you. Yeah. Said it has no feelings. Somebody think prison is one word, but it's two robbers, then it's a whole sentence. Okay. Ha. Damn. 1.1 million. Again, it's sort of holding there now. It's going down. Yeah, it's going down. The, it's like 600,000. It's nowhere near enough. Need 2 million. Not consuming, light oil fast enough. That's what I was worried about. Sort of thing. Just not making, yeah, and the next time this thing gets water, this thing should technically clear. If it ever sees water. Will it see? Probably gone somewhere else, isn't it? I think it went somewhere else. Sort of chopped it off a little bit there. Alright, so in goes the water. Yeah, it's helped it. Unclogged it. Clogged that. I mean, a pump or two along the way would probably help it more. Should really add more trains anyway. Trying to avoid doing that putting signals in to get them. Even though it does get them in quicker, I don't want this thing to run too quickly. Oh, it actually doesn't matter. But it's nice to make an effort to not swamp it with far more than it can reasonably support. Like what it would normally receive. Not support. It could support a lot more. It's just that if I'm feeding it too much at once, it's unrealistic. Oh no, that's actually drained out everything. Hmm. Okay. Didn't expect that. Oh. You are full. Yeah, I think a second water unload might be the way to go with this. And just boost it up a little bit. Make more room, I might. Well, I'd do probably, if I was to do anything, I would do something like the water unload here. Pair them up here. Or join them up like here. And then feed that in. Potentially I would also have 2 loads as well. Maybe. Might be one of those see how we do. See how we do situations. How's it look now? 1.2 million, okay. 1.1 million is sort of the 1 minute average. It's sort of getting up there. We need 1 mil, about 1.1 million, 1.1 million total. Just getting there. I'd like to have it run more consistently though. But I think that'll be a future me problem. Because for now, it's time to end. It is that time.